but I think we pretty well all agreed that bronze statues of the four had to be the center of it.
Don and Shirley begged from Studio West in Cochrane, Alberta. We wanted somebody local, and Don and Shirley have an incredible track record. They've done RCMP work, so they are incredibly fanatical about the detail, the RCMP detail. We chose to have each one of them have a different pose rather than all four of them on guard in the red serge. At attention, at ease, at rest, and the salute. And they all mean something, and there will be a plaque explaining what each one means, and they all are chosen because of their length of service.
The detail of the bronze sculptures is very, very important to properly honor the four fallen officers. This is the wax button that we have created for the model. It's 10% larger than life size, as the statues are 10% larger than life size. This is the badge, again 10% larger than life size, to go on the collars. It's really important that the uniform, the badges, the buttons, the positions of the officers be exactly true to life, because these bronze statues are going to be the research for future generations who are doing research as to what the RCMP officers were wearing and their positions. Don and I, everyone here at Studio West, is really honored to have been chosen to create the statues to honor the fallen four of Mayerthorpe, and to create a permanent memorial to them in bronze. Bronze outdoors will last 3,500 years.
The site chosen to display the four statues is a all aspects of the plans were carefully thought out, and each choice made had its own meaning. Leo Johnston was a proud Métis, and the First Nations concept of the circle determined the placement of the statues. They stand at north, south, east, and west. In the spring of 2008, the center was finished inside and out. The walkways are in place, leading to a lovely gazebo at the west end. The plinths for the statues and obelisk are solid and sturdy, for they have an important job ahead. It is an exciting time, too, at Studio West, where the business of pouring the jewels in the crown, the statues of our fallen four heroes, is now in full swing. 50 bronze miniatures, or maquettes, have already been made for purchase by discriminating collectors, and they have been produced to the same exacting standards as those to be erected in the park.
This is the bronze cast, the result of lost wax casting. This is the color of bronze before we apply chemicals to produce the patina, which is the color and finish of the finished bronze that you see here. This maquette model is a limited edition of 50. It's accompanied by a certificate of authenticity indicating the number that it is in the edition.
The process of producing bronze statues is an ancient one, requiring an enormous amount of time and great attention to detail. The lost wax method of bronze casting is 6,000 years old, and it's changed little in principle since those days.
Each of the four officers are sculpted in oil-based clay, which is very soft, almost like plasticine. It never hardens and it never dries. These models are 10% larger than life size. When the clay models are complete and approved by both the committee and the families of the fallen 4 officers. We will make a rubber mold, just like we did with the small maquette, and then we will duplicate this clay model in hollow wax. We will remove the rubber mold from the clay model and refill that mold with wax.
It all begins with a clay model, which must be exactly the same as the finished bronze. The small maquettes go through exactly the same process. This rubber mold, having been reassembled and filled with molten wax, produces a replica of the original. This replica is dipped into a ceramic slurry to make another mold. The process now moves into the foundry, where the final casting takes place. The roar of the furnaces and the burning heat is a reminder of the elemental nature of the work. The ceramic mold goes into the kiln to cure and for the wax to run out, leaving a void for the bronze to fill. Now the bronze, at 2200 degrees Fahrenheit, is poured into the shell. The apparatus has all been designed and hand-built by Don Begg in order to achieve the difficult, not to mention dangerous procedure of moving the molten bronze to its various stations on the way to the mold. First, the impurities which rise to the top have to be removed, and this is done on a bed of sand because drops of molten bronze would otherwise bounce off the concrete. Note the boards set in position to protect from just such an event. Once that is done, the white-hot cauldron of bronze is hoisted over the waiting mold. Still checking for impurities, the bronze is then poured into the holes, and not a drop is spilled. After cooling, the shell is broken apart, and the bronze statue is ready for assembly. The now rapidly cooling container is returned to be prepared for the next casting. It now requires finishing, and all imperfections are removed. A patina is applied, which gives it its characteristic brown color. And finally, a wax coating is applied for protection.
We always refer to this as our project of the heart, because that's what it is, and that's what it will always be.